I'm over here. Hey, it's Alex Joyner, pastor at First United Methodist Church in Charlottesville, Virginia. This is the midweek update for Wednesday, February the 23rd, 2022. And if my voice is echoing, it's because I'm in a room that you may not recognize if you haven't been in here in the last few days. This is room 208, one of our most used rooms here at First Church. We've got Sunday school classes that meet in here. Some other meetings take place as well, and the trustees have done an incredible job along with other individuals from the church to get this space renovated. They pulled up the carpet, and look at here, we found this beautiful floor underneath, and with new paint and new fixtures, and the TV is back up and more to come. But I just wanted to say thank you and give a shout out to all the folks who worked to make this space such a usable space. So there's a lot in your midweek update, and I wanted to give you a preview of all of that. So to do that, let's go take a look at the park. So last week in the midweek update, you heard from Harry Kennan and Carolyn McGee about our plans for Lenten prayer in the park. So it's a very simple idea. All we want to do is to have somebody in that park every day during Lent for a little bit of time to pray in the park, for the people of our city. We're living into this new vision of loving the whole city and loving the city whole, starting right here. And so all we're asking is for you to sign up for a day. Take a day. You can bring somebody with you if you'd rather not be in the park alone. We're not asking you to stand on a soapbox, but we do have a camp chair that you can sit in. We've got a little sign that has our vision on it to put in the ground. And there's some scriptures and a prayer for every day of that season. And mainly we want you to be listening for what God might be saying while you're in the park, and to take note of what's happening around you in that period of prayer, so that we know more of what to pray for, and we can share that with the vision team as we continue to move into the park. Another thing happening in the park next week on Ash Wednesday, which is March the 2nd, is from 12 to 12:30. I'll be over there to offer the imposition of ashes. You know, Ash Wednesday is one of those days that's one of the most important in our season. We're reclaiming it in some ways. It begins the season of Lent, which is 40 days long, and it's a opportunity for us to remember our dependence on God and our mortality. So the words are pretty stark. When I put the ashes on your forehead, I will say words like, "Remember that you are dust, and to dust that you shall return." But ultimately, it's good news as we recognize that even with all our limits, life goes on as promised through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So we'll be doing that in the park from 12 to 12:30. This is Kevin White. In case you haven't heard it, Ash Wednesday is also, what happens else on March the 2nd?
March 2nd is Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, and what else? It's Kevin's birthday. So we've got a service from 5 to 7 p.m. next Wednesday in the sanctuary. And you might be saying to yourself, 2 hours, that's a long Ash Wednesday service. But it is a drop-in service. You can come and go as you wish. It is a time for reflection and meditation. And we'll be having music interspersed with readings and poems. And you can come forward at any time to have the ashes imposed with the sign of the cross in ashes. So if you'd like to come and take part in that service, it should be a very beautiful service. And as I say, it's from 5 to 7. Come anytime during that period, and you can take part for as long as you'd like during that. And lastly, I just want to say that this is a week when we're doing a lot of work with our refugee resettlement. We have 2 families that we have the privilege to resettle, and there's some great needs at this moment. So look for the Sign Up Genius in the midweek update and see how you might be able to participate in helping these families come to make a new home on the other side of the world from where they started. Finally, as we go, I have 2 short snippets of video to share with you. One is a conversation that I had with Elizabeth Catte, who is a public historian, who has written about Market Street Park and its origins. And I think you'll find it a fascinating conversation. And as we look to our 100th anniversary coming up next year and the year to follow. I think that her work will be very interesting for us to explore as we think about what happened in the past and what can happen in the future in that park. And then finally, one of our musical presentations from this week, we had Choose Christian Hoos Exult as part of our worship service last week. And we've got a piece of their performance here and offering in worship. So hope that you're doing well. Look forward to seeing you soon and hope to see you soon. God bless. So there's that, and then you also have such a strong sense of the physical legacy that's left over, the built environment that was around it. And you describe Western State in a way that I can picture it, and you do the same with the Market Street Park and the other places that you're talking about in this book. How did place get to be so important to you?
I think place, for me, is such a good foundation for engaging with the past. Many people have what we would call a strong sense of place. So in that sense of place is in turn connected to their emotional senses. And this means I think that you have the potential to reach people in a really multi-layered way. When you anchor narratives to place, you're effectively asking them to inhabit a space alongside you, to step into a world with you. And personally, that's a writing personality that works well for me, this sort of, empathetic guide. So it plays to my advantages as a writer and a historian, but more broadly, I think that place and space is an arena where big debates get played out. So what is the public good? What kind of entitlements are at work in our community? Who has a right to a public life? So there's a potential to build towards these very big, intense conversations, but also do so in a way that, has the potential to change the way that people see their communities, change the way they what they think about when they're going about their daily life. It could interrupt their routines or give them, a new perspective on things that they do every day or places where they grew up. And again, that's appealing to many different kinds of senses, not just sort of intellectual curiosity, but this deeper emotional level that I think people connect with. And connecting and triggering and firing their emotions, I think is it's an under-respected tool of the historian, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's and that certainly comes through in what you've written.
No. be found in your presence, paying no mind to my needs, consumed by your infinite wonder, content at your feet. I think I'll just linger a little while longer. Oh, my flesh tries to flee, but my spirit pleads to stay. My child, did you linger a little while longer? Those good works and deeds are not what I need. I only want you. And 'tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word, oh, just to rest upon his promise, and to know thus saith the Lord. Oh, when Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I've proved him more and more. Oh, when Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, and all for praise to trust him more. All for praise to trust him more. All for praise to trust him